them. My name is Pablo. I am from Vigo in Spain. Vigo is at the northwest of Spain. That means that we are very close to Portugal. I live just in the border with one foot in Portugal, one foot in Spain. And the last 7 years, I was traveling, working, living between three continents: America, Africa, and Europe. So I experienced by myself the difficulties on the problems of how people can, or better say, that cannot make a normal life at everywhere. That means policy problems, identity problems, passports, health problems, financial problems. And that's allowed me to reflect a lot about how digital nomads are being welcomed in this world. In one side, we are talking about this digital society, but it seems that we are not ready yet to being a digital society. I would like to share with you like a conversation, not a speech, not a mono speech. And I would like to ask you if you heard before about this concept of digital nomad, or if you feel like a digital nomad, or if you have any info about it. Do you know what is a digital nomad is?
Are we digital nomads at the moment?
Yeah.
Yes.
To be honest with you, that's not the future I would like to live in. I like, a personal connection. I like smiling. I like touching. I like to be in one room with a person, to feel the energy, to I don't know, read the body language and all that. I love it. But of course, this is the way we have to kind of operate at the moment, and because of the situation. But yeah, tell us a little bit more about digital nomads.
Well, when we talk about digital nomads, or for me, when I talk about digital nomads, it means that you don't need to be in a certain place to make your life. I mean, you don't need to be fixed to a chair to work. You don't need to be on a place to do some things. You can do them with your knowledge and, of course, with technology. And when you realize that we do not need to be fixed to a certain place, it changes the mind of how our lifestyle is going on. In these days, because of the pandemic, we are living like in digital nomads, but in our room. I mean, we are not traveling, but we are having contact now with people from everywhere. We are developing tools, we are developing works, we are laughing, we are crying, we are feeling love with people about how we can transmit. And I was very concerned to transport that to if we can make a professional lifestyle in this way. In this moment, we are living the home office, no? The people that needs to work from their office, and companies are realizing that the people are more productive in this moment. So that means that all this concept of digital nomads, it seems that it's going to be the new reality. No? It's going to be the new reality. We can be working. We are with our pet, we're cat, with another people. I can be working with my kids running around here, and there is no problem about that. There's no way, no. You can do it. And for this concept of the digital nomads, I fixed the concept of the digital identity. And it was one of the main problems that I had during these 7 years about how to manage my identity in this digital nomad lifestyle. And studying about the concept of the digital identity and the self-sovereign identity, we realized that the unique, or for me, the unique way to live in this digital world is that it could be possible if you are the owner of your own data. And if you are the only one
Exactly.
can determine how your data can be used.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because we all have our identity card or whatever, but it can be false.
Yes.
But if you have your with Daniel from Palo Alto, from California, he's working on it. We realized that the only personal identification that cannot be corrupted at this moment is your DNA, your ADN, your DNA. And in the moment that you can be fixed with your DNA and you can have a proof of certification of this DNA, this is the only way that you can show to the people that you are who you say you are. And you can give this certificate in your wallet, in your smartphone, and you can portable it. So it's the only way, because the other way that we have to, our identity is our passport number or our ID card number, but those documents can be false, can be corrupted, and they are not, cannot be affected. Either I met during this year people with 2 or 3 nationalities, and they can get into a country with one passport and get off of the country with their second passport. And it's crazy because it's like you have two personalities or 2 identities, or what is this? Or what is going this? And with this situation, we started to study about the identity and then the attributes. The attributes are those data who are part of my identity. We are talking about our studies, our health data, professional data, even what we write, the photos that I take, what I'm sharing or not sharing on social media or on the internet. And then here is where we found the big problem, no? How our data are being used
Exactly.
without our permission.
And this is, sorry, Pablo, this called, recently I watched this very interesting documentary called Surveillance Capitalism, where the doctor I can't remember her name, but she talks about the fact that all of the data that we are sharing online, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everything, even photos, photos, buy photos and by the way you look, by the way you smile, all of these basically qualities, they could be transferred into huge data, which is analyzed in the ways that can predict our behavior. So this is a completely different level of control, of controlling mass population. And to be honest with you, I think, and all of these big companies, which work together, obviously they're sharing all of this data, because sometimes Facebook is telling you, you want to connect through this with your Facebook account. Okay, we're going to share your information, blah, 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 blah. But, actually what they're doing is they're sharing the data, which is then used to create huge networks of behavioral models, which are being used to control us. And also she was saying about this application which is called Pokemon Go. Do you remember this one? Pokemon Go, where young people were going on this Pokemon Go thing, and they were following, they were trying to find the Pokemon, and by the way they find the Pokemon, they found themselves in like the areas where where they can do shopping. So the Pokemon Go was kind of navigating them towards the places where they can spend their money, you know, on things that they don't need, to create impressions on people who they don't care about and stuff like that. So
we can really believe that all
and
this.
at this, yeah, and at the same time, you know, they it's all it is created in the way that you are basically, you're having fun, you are entertained throughout the whole process, and so you don't actually understand what's happening behind it. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No problem, no problem. I agree full with you, because all these kind of applications that it seems to be a game,
Yeah.
they are just conductual applications that want us not only to predict what we want to consume or what we should to consume. The main problem that we found with these applications or this data management is that they are not just predictive, they are inductive. And we have the experiences about well-known Cambridge Analytics that how you can induct to the people's mind, just throwing them impacts or info at the right moment, with the right people, with the right word, with the right, etc. So the main problem that we have here from how a society is that we are living in a false world in this way. They are using our data to influence, to make influence to us, to live and buy what some companies decide that it should be our lifestyle, and not to help our problems. Okay, I'm fully agree with artificial intelligence. With this artificial intelligence, I can predict if I'm gonna be ill, if some of things will occur. But you cannot use this info to make me mind that I'm ill and I need to buy some medicaments, for example. No? And with blockchain technology, we found that we can have this chance to be the owners of our data, and we can decide how our data can be used and how our data can be used for. I mean, when I go to the doctor, they make me some kind of test. I never have the results of the test. I never have. I only have, and you are okay, you are not okay, you need to go to the pharmacy, you need to buy some medicaments, and that's all. And my data of this test are being used for the pharmacy industry from I don't know who to make new medicaments, or just to make a prediction of what medicament I should need. But I can't decide of how my data are being used. I cannot make influence about, hey, those are my data. And this is a big problem when, for example, you are traveling or you are going to a hospital and they don't have, you don't have your data to show to the hospital, hey, I'm this person, I have passed this test, or I have passed this not test, I have passed this ill, or I have passed that. I have not. So they start again to make you a huge amount of tests to obtain more data about you, and then continue using this data without your knowledge.
But you're claiming that you have this blockchain technology which allows you to control your data.
Yeah, sure. Blockchain technology in general, it's a technology that allows us to bring our data with us. The main use of technology is well known, the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is no more than that you have the key, you have the data that give access to your money. That's all. So if we change money for medical data, you are the only one who have access to your own medical data. And you are the only people in the world that can give access to this data because they are your data.
Mm-hmm.
And we can talk about medical data. We can talk about our photos, our videos, our professional data, about the works that we do. Hey, today you can make a picture, you can put it on the internet, and someone can be using this picture to make money. And you say, what? Why are you doing that? Why I cannot make part of this business? Because this data is not yours, it's from the net. You read the small letter on Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and all these companies. You are giving them the rights of use of your data.
Mm-hmm.
And this is crazy. This is crazy because in a digital world, that means that all your interaction in your life, all the things that you are doing through internet doesn't belong to you.
Yeah.
And this is crazy. This is crazy because it's a kind of make blind a person. You are taking from this person all his value. And that's why I'm trying to explain and to make activism about it.
Right.
About concern the people about the privacy by design. All the stuff that you make now, digital apps, web apps, or whatever, focus it by the principle of the data is of the people.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the people and it's of the people. And the successful or not successful of this data, it must be shared with these people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will be agree. I make a test in the hospital. You are giving data from me. Okay, it's my data. I have my code to access to this data. If you want to use this data, you can pay me for that. Oh, why not? You are making business with my data. I want to be part of this.
Wow.
So this is the change about the data and about the digital identity. If we move from not only digital data, we move from any kind of data that we are, like with the Pokemon Go, you are showing data all the time. Where you are, who are you with, what are you talking about, whatever.
It should be, to be honest with you, I think it should be, it should be a human right to be in a full control of your personal data.
Of your personality.
Of your personality, yeah.
I want to add here, there are, I don't know if you heard about this, there are two projects that are already in kind of development. First one is Culture project. Have you heard about this?
Mm-hmm.
The ideologist, the founder of this project is Toni Lane, a girl that unfortunately passed away a few weeks ago, but she had a brilliant idea how to create decentralized kind of self-governance when people can have their identity based on trust network, and substitute for this social trust would be blockchain technology.
Mm-hmm. There are several projects that are starting to work. Someone mentioned here, Charlie Northup. There is like a universal standard that we are working on it, that is the self-sovereign identity. And it's like a normal or a standard that we use. And after that, there are few innovative business models. There are some people that are called Websong. I think that they are from Argentina. And Websong is a platform where you can upload your data, and if someone needs to use your data, they pay for you. Mm-hmm. And it's great because it's for companies, it's okay, you have a direct channel to your customer. So you can communicate with your customer But of course, you need to pay or you need to give an incentive to your customer because he's sharing his data with you. He's telling you what do you need to produce to satisfy his demands. And it's not the opposite side that is the ones that is carry on. That some company are telling us what we need to consume. It's just the opposite side. No? And about this concept of the digital nomad, the people that we are interacting with data anytime, this concept of the privacy by design, that the data is our more valuable active, I think that we can change most of the main problems that we have now linked or related about the value of our work or the value of our lives, and not being inducted or influenced about someone that just only wants to sell products and to have maximum benefits and wherever. So this concept of digital nomads, I should say that we are not alone. There are countries like Estonia that he's open-minded and is opening borders to people who wants to be a digital residents there. If you want to have a digital residency in Estonia, you can have it as a company or as a person. And you can be a person from the city, from the world, from the digital world, and there is a country that can give you this accreditation or this kind of, hey, you are free to move. You are free to move. You have some legal status to continue with your life. And I guess that so many people from so many countries are starting to think like that. And in this year and the following years, we will be how this concept of digital nomad, it will be something that will be normalized. And the moment that we get that we are born, we can be a digital citizen. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I give place to the next one. Thank you very much for your time. We'll be in contact in this channel, and it was a great experience. Thank you so much. And sorry, Nika, for disturbing you at the beginning. Yesenia, thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you, Pablo.
And the rest of the people.